Persona 3 Reload has so many trailers out at this point that just shows how amazing this game is really going to be and how it's just changing the game for the better in almost every single way possible. But now I want to talk about some things that they should have changed that in the trailers shown are being the exact same that I feel like would have been way better for them to change it to just improve the overall gameplay of the game for everyone who's playing the game. The first thing I want to talk about, which is probably the most major one of all, is how Tartarus works entirely. I feel like they could have changed this with the game because right now when you look at the gameplay of the original and also Reload, all it is just go on the floor and then a staircase and a floor then a staircase, and you do that over and over again until you reach a barricade and you have to leave and do a major story event. But I feel like they could have not maybe easily changed it, but there is ways they could have changed it to make it more engaging and just fun to play through. The way they could have changed it is how, you know, if you play Tartarus in Persona 3, is divided into blocks rather than just like a straight up tower without any difference in it at all. Basically, what I feel like they could have done is to have each block be its own separate dungeon entirely, where it's just its own complete unique layout and it's its own thing. Sure, you're still going up the dungeon, but instead of it just being a floor staircase over and over again, it could be its own full unique dungeon that is just, as you're going through it, you're just slowly going up and up more throughout the tower. And I know you always get blocked halfway through each block, so you could do half the dungeon and then complete the other half of the dungeon later and then go into the next section. Or maybe you just do one whole dungeon and then at the end of the dungeon there's like an elevator that brings you up to the next section of the floor. I feel like this all would have just been way better instead of just having randomly generated levels. Well, actually, inside of one of the gameplay videos that released by Faz, thank you for all the Persona content you're releasing, you can see that when he goes back to a previous level, you're actually, the map stays the exact same. So maybe this is showing that the levels aren't randomly generated anymore. They just kind of look like it, but they stay the same no matter what. But instead of doing all the effort and making a randomly generated level that stays, they should have just made a whole own unique dungeon instead. I feel like it would have been way better and just much more fun to play through rather than just seeing the same scenery over and over again until you go up into the next block. Because whenever I play Persona 3, I always love going through all the day-to-day life, seeing the story, hanging out with the party members. It's just all so good. Like, this game's story is honestly just phenomenal. But man, whenever you have to go back to the dark hour and go to Tartarus for another like 50 floors, it can be so exhausting and it's just not fun to go through at all, especially if some enemies have no weaknesses or enemies that just does instant kill moves and you get hit by it and you honestly just die instantly. It is not fun. I know you can get homunculuses to stop the instant kills, but like, I'd rather just avoid that completely. I know they can still keep that in the game. That's not like my main concern. It's more of just having to go through those floors to fight the same people that are just instant killing you every time. It's just not fun to go through sometimes. That's why I'm hoping they don't have the same like bulk of 50 floors, but it is showing one of the trailers that they are on like floor 160 or whatever, so I know they're gonna keep it like that, but I feel like they should definitely change the whole how much floors there is of Tartarus, because it gets to a drag at some point. Let's all be real with ourselves. Now, another issue that I do want to talk about that isn't too bad of a thing, but I feel like it would just be way more engaging and have the confidants be way more better, is to give each confidant their own abilities just like they have in Persona 5. I feel like leveling up confidants in the side of Persona 3, there is no reason to do it besides if you want to fuse personas and just have them be a higher level than when you initially fuse them. Other than that, you gain no benefits at all. It was the same inside of Persona 4 besides your party members, but I feel like having confidants have their own abilities, there's so much more reason just to hang out with them and motivation to do it, and it just makes the gameplay a lot more fun anyway. The only confidant that actually matters is the main confidant, the C's confidant, that only goes up throughout the story. Basically, it has the basic abilities where they withstand attack, or they stay at 1 HP, or they take the last hit for you if you're about to die. But I feel like they should have every party member have their own thing rather than just have it on the one main thing that just, the only one that gives you stuff is the one that ranks up in the story. So doing all the other confidants is completely optional and just getting nothing from it at all. They should definitely change this, and I feel like it will make the game just a lot more fun and a lot more engaging and just completely better in every way, shape, and form. But well, tell me what you guys think about the changes that I think will make this game even better, just completely better. I know the palaces thing is already a no-go. They're going back to the mementos no matter what. But we haven't seen that if confidant doesn't give you a ability or yet not. They still have yet to show that, so it still could be a possibility, and I'm hoping that it is. But thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, and if you want to see more of my content, make sure to subscribe. I just passed 200 subscribers. Thank you everybody so much for that. It really means a lot. I never thought I'd get this far. Just thank you everybody so much for watching and just enjoying the content. Just leave comments down below. What else do you think they should have changed, or they still could potentially be changed? I would love to see what you guys think, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.